Gene interviews Russo, who cuts another babyface promo.
Yeah.
Vows to win no matter who's backing Booker up. He's going to do it for Long Island, the greatest city in the world.
He's also wearing football pads and a helmet.
Full jersey, pads, helmet, the full bit. It is, in fact, Vince Russo versus Booker T for the World Heavyweight Championship in an Escape the Cage Hell in a Cell match. The entire locker room comes out to watch because it's such a big match. So Russo hits Booker with a bat over and over again, leaves him laying. He's going to walk out and win. He's the better man by the rules of this match.
Not only that, Russo is a monstrous underdog. There's 5. They send all the baby faces out to surround the cage.
Yes.
Every time he almost wins, all of these baby faces prevent him from winning.
From taking his rightly earned victory.
He is fighting against all odds. Now, there's a very important key to this match. At one point, when he tries to escape, the baby faces don't let him out. They're not going to let him out the door. So Russo, a brilliant man, of course.
Planned ahead.
He's got a ladder. And so he sets up a ladder, and he starts climbing the ladder because he's going to go out the top of the cage and I guess climb down onto everybody and win. I guess they're going to let him climb down the side of the cage. So the plan was that he is going to open the top of the cage, but Sting is going to rappel down and stop the cage door up above from opening, the lid, okay?
Yeah.
Well, some moron, I don't know who it could possibly be, they booked this show and they put Sting in the semi-main event. And so on this live show, Sting had to walk backstage, slapping hands with the fans like you talked about, and then he had to run as fast as he could to the rafters. They had to fit him into his harness. They had to fit him into everything and lock everything in place and hoist him above the cage and make sure that they dropped him on time. Well, lo and behold, there wasn't enough time. So Russo goes to get out that door, but Sting's not ready yet. They haven't put him in that thing. So Mike Awesome sees what's going on, and he leaps into action, and he scales the side of the cage, and he goes up there and prevents Vince Russo from getting out.
Yeah.
I am not even sure. I don't know this for sure, but I don't think that Sting was even properly clamped in when they finally just dropped him from the rafters, because he did finally come down.
He finally drops on top of the cage. By the time he drops, Booker has already cut Russo off. We don't even know how because you're watching Sting descend. But Sting descends to the top of the cage. A minute or two passes, and next time you see Sting, now he's being dropped to the floor.
Yes.
So apparently they dropped him on top of the cage, pulled him back up, moved him, and then dropped him to the floor.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the claw game at the
exactly.
Toy Store, yeah. So
Mark Madden notes Russo is facing impossible odds to win this title in his hometown.
It is a fact. There's a dozen professional wrestlers doing all they can to stop Vince Russo, who's out here alone, from winning. At one point, as Booker T has cut Russo off and is manhandling him, one of the announcers says, quote, Booker could easily walk out, but he's toying with Vince Russo. So the story, now Booker may not have known this was a story, but the story by the end of this is Booker T is the biggest idiot in all the company, and think of the ground that covers.
Oh, yeah.
This, I know
it has been for weeks.
I know I say it every week. This is the worst booked champion ever. Ever. Lex Luger shows up, gives Russo a pipe through the cage, and disappears. Russo beats up Booker for a while.
First he beat him up with a bat. Now he's beating him with a pipe.
Yeah. So he takes out the referee for no reason. No reason. And why is there even a ref in there if he's got to escape anyway? He takes out the referee. EMTs run out to check on the referee. Russo starts attacking the EMTs. Why? Please tell me why he was attacking the referees in his quest to fulfill his lifelong dream of winning the world championship. Then, one of the EMTs is Ric Flair in disguise.
Ric Flair is back.
Ric Flair said, Russo, he's going to attack a referee. They only need EMTs in this cage. I can set a trap. He attacks Russo, He tears into the crowd had been cheering for Russo, by the way, because he was such a massive
wonder why.
underdog in this match.
Was fighting against all odds.
Until Flair cut him off. They like Flair more. Flair like puts him in the shortest figure four you ever saw.
Well, he tries to put him in the figure four, and Russo, for some reason, just rolls to his belly. So
Okay.
Flair can't even get it on, and he just gives up.
Okay. He gestures towards Booker. He's all yours. And he disappears as well. Now the natural born thrillers are out there. Everyone is having this giant brawl in the aisleway. You can't tell who's fighting with who. I actually did go watch this back to see what I thought I saw. Somewhere in this chaos, Kwee is brawling with a woman in a bikini. She's like got his head, and he's throwing worked punches to her belly.
I don't know.
What is happening? What is happening? Booker hits all his finishers on Vince Russo. Now they're alone out there. Did we mention that Booker is the dumbest man in all of World Championship Wrestling? He has beaten this man. He's at all his moves. He's got nothing left to do. He cuts a promo on the guy. He goes to leave. The door's right there. Bill Goldberg's music hits. Booker T freezes. The announcers are screaming, "Win the match. Go out the door."
Yes, not only is he an idiot, but the announcers are pointing out what an idiot he is.
Yes, it's the story.
Yes.
That you, the viewer, are supposed to take in is that Booker T has no brain.
Now, if the announcers, they don't care, but what they should have done was, when Booker was about to go out and they hit Goldberg's music, you just only film Goldberg and you have the announcer scream about Goldberg. Instead, the director leaves the camera on Booker T as he's standing there like an idiot. The announcers point out that he's standing there like an idiot. He comes off as the biggest moron.
So Booker T lets Goldberg into the ring. Goldberg goes to get Russo. Steiner attacks Booker. Booker kicks Steiner. And then more or less at the same time, as Booker steps out the door to win, Goldberg spears Russo through the wall of the cage. And Booker looks at him, and Goldberg gets up. They think Booker has won. All the fans think Booker has won. And they high-five, and they leave.
Yeah.
And that is how the show goes off the air.
That's how the show ended. Well, I mean, Madden thought that Russo won.
The announcer
So the
started...
announcers did argue about it so that you knew something happened here. You must tune into Thunder.
Okay, I need to explain something now about all this. This show is a massive thumbs down, if you can't tell.
You don't say.
Strongly dislike this show. But everyone should watch this show because this show is pure, concentrated, condensed, prescription grade, hospital strength, 2000 WCW all at once.
Oh, yeah.
If you say, Vince, I never watched Nitro in 2000. What's it like? This is the episode I would show you.
This is
what Nitro was like in the year 2000. Good luck to you, son.
Yeah. You know, I don't want to say that Russo didn't get a concussion here, because I'm pretty sure that he did.
Oh, yeah.
But man, what I remember in my head and what actually happened is very different. I remember Goldberg spearing him out of the side of that cage and them flying like 40 feet and Russo hitting that guardrail right in the middle and his head practically going all the way through those two bars and him being folded in like 6 different pieces. They actually did put like a big foam cover over the barricade where he hit his head. And he was wearing a helmet. So it wasn't as bad as I remember. It was still bad. But watching it back, like, they did try to not kill Vince Russo. But it failed.
Yes and no. I mean, Goldberg needed to spear him hard enough to break the cage.
Well, sure, but
And
like,
he took full advantage of it.
I'm sure he was more than happy to spear that guy in it next week.
Hi, I'm Vince Russo. Welcome to Jackass.